Could the next president of the United States be a robot fueled with machine intelligence? Ladies and gentlemen, Rex Bear Leak Project, how the heck are you? The possibilities are endless. And you might say, there's no way. There's absolutely no way. Let me share with you some recent articles that are just mind-bending. Mind-bending. Have you seen the most recent TV series called Humans, where they portray robots as more human than the human? Oh yeah, kind of like that White Zombie song that came out years ago. This is fascinating and frightening at the same time. Now the question is, how far will we let the machine take over? Will we literally be taking orders from robots in the near future? And are we already taking orders from robots? I want to give a huge shout out to Noble Gold and Noble Bitcoin. If you want to get out of the rat race, maybe you don't want to worry about having an AI bot tell you what to do. Maybe you want to retire somewhere in the tropics, in the mountains, far, far away from 5G, 4G, 69G networks. Hello. Maybe not the last. Okay, I'm joking. Bad joke. Check out Noble Bitcoin and Noble Gold Investments. You can diversify your IRA, your 401k, into Litecoin, into Bitcoin, into precious metals. It's efficient, it's easy, it's quick. And these guys are pros. I mean, they eat, sleep, drink, and work out while they're researching finances. Seriously. Some of the top brokers in the world with Noble Gold Investments, also Noble Bitcoin. Check them out. Click the link. They're even offering free books for Leak Project listeners. All right. Let's get back to the podcast now. Humans, the TV series, came out United Kingdom. And robots and artificial intelligence become self-aware. And then robotics are like the new wave of internet. Psychiatrists, teachers, law enforcement, butlers, clerks, architects. Virtually every field has some type of robot that looks just like a human. And then there's a code that gets released into the webs that opens up some robotics minds to where they're self-aware, and then now they're superior to humanity in the film. They're stronger, they think faster, they're more efficient, they can calculate more scenarios based upon their hardware that's in the system. Now, if we could fully activate our mind and our DNA the way that we're supposed to be able to, then no robotics would have a chance. Because they've even proven how much memory you can store in 1 gram of DNA, which improves every single year and it becomes cheaper to do. And then you look at hardware and you look at a hard drive, and how much storage that thing has in your hand compared to this download of memory into DNA. Far more memory can be stored in DNA than these physical hard drives. And it's getting faster and more efficient. That's why I say in the future, people are probably going to be walking DNA servers for machines like beyond Matrix style. I think with all the division and the tactics that the powers that be use, these shadow factions that literally want to live forever through machines, and people ask, well, why are these 4G, 5G networks popping up all over the world? Oh, it's just for faster download, and that's the way it's being pitched and presented. Yet I wonder if there's factions behind the scenes manipulating people that are creating these things that is actually creating a digital web for it to live through. Imagine people that are so smart and have so much money, and they've been a part of these circles and bloodlines, throughout the civilization process. And they say, hey, we're ready to go to the next level. We're ready for it to be like it was back in Egyptian times, where you had the pharaohs and the slave class. Far less pharaohs, far more slaves. Now there's too many pharaohs and not enough slaves, according to many of these people. So what do they do about it? Well, they still want to have all these people to make their stuff until they can have robots make their stuff and do the work for them and ask less questions. And then they come to the conclusion, wow, what if we live through the machine? Imagine people figuring out a way to download their consciousness into a digital network. And they could travel through these 4G, 5G networks. The faster the processing power, the higher the frequency. When you're into the 30 gigahertz frequency range, yes, it's bad for humanity. Yes, it's bad for organic biology, but it's pretty good for download speeds. It's pretty quick for information. You create an entire worldwide network of a digital enterprise where the machine lives through the digital enterprise. Forget humanity. Human beings, they're going to be like the dinosaurs if we continue to let the machine take over. If we continue to give the keys to the machine, we're either going to have to find a way to merge with it or it's going to take us over. And I think that there's many people that have already been taken over by this system. And when you read Revelation and you read through the Antichrist and the depiction of the new revelation that descends from heaven. I had a guest on the show the other day that said by doing the Enochian calls, yes, it's a very powerful form of magic, but it's also going to usher in the apocalypse. And that's what these angelic beings believed. And then they gave this power over to John Dee, and John Dee gave it to the Queen and the Crown. And now look at the British Empire and how powerful it is. Well, he was describing how he feels these angels gave the vision, these Enochian calls, Enochian magic, for a system that you would look at as the revelation in the New Testament as the apocalypse. The question is, though, what is your definition of apocalypse? Is it the Greek definition of a unveiling, or is it utter destruction? Is it utter destruction and then a birth, a rebirth, a creation? Is it the description of how I talked to him and I said I felt that the New Jerusalem that descends from heaven is somewhat of a very beautiful Borg cube with gold and emeralds and rubies and sapphires and all these different colors and an inner light source, etc. Is that the divine, or is that a demigod? Is that the supreme being? Is that the creator of all? Or is that a architect of a system where they want to pretend that they're the creator of everything to absorb more power and energy and to keep suppression at a specific point? Like people that go out there and say, oh man, I'm going to make a zoo. I'm going to take wild animals and I'm going to put them in cages. I think that's disgusting. I don't even like to go to zoos. Oh, I get freaked out just thinking about it. What if that was you? How many people are in a cage right now, a mental cage, and they don't even realize it? How many industries have been created to put you in a cage and to take away what your God-given divine spark source allows you to do? Somebody wants to take that from you and feed off of it. So what if this entire network, this system that's being created, this 5G system, complete global dominance of a digital enterprise, what if that's designed for some type of machine intelligence or some type of outer dimensional intelligence? You want to call them the archons, you want to call them the serpents from the Emerald Tablets, you want to call it the Antichrist, demons, devils. Just don't call them late for dinner, because then you'll be dinner. Call them whatever you want. There's something out there that you don't see, folks. Oh yeah, that's right. You think, oh, if you can't see it, you can't hear it, you can't smell it, you can't touch it, you can't taste it, it's not real. Well, that's a very closed-minded state of being, especially when you figure how suppressed you are and how many studies and how much research and how much data is available to present. There are other forms that aren't a part of your five senses that you're typically using. Now, when it gets to the sixth sense, activating your third eye, opening your chakras and aligning your chakras, and you can take pictures of your chakras, folks. That's real. I've got pictures of my chakras, of my energy body through Kirlian photography. And I've seen different images. You can take a leaf, cut the leaf in half, and then take a picture of it with the Kirlian photograph. You'll still see the entire leaf's outline with this energy body. The energy body is still there. That might explain phantom limbs, phantom pain when somebody loses a limb. It's still there at a different dimension. The holographic imprint is still there. Now, if we are moving into an era where the human body as we know it will become obsolete and, like the dinosaurs, extinct, what is this next version going to be? Is it going to be like in the Superman film that came out a few years ago, where all reproduction is done by design. There's no natural births anymore until Superman. Is it going to move to a system where they're going to take a bit of human DNA, a bunch of other animals' DNA, insects' DNA, mix it all together, and then print it up? They're printing up biological machines right now. Look it up. They've been doing it for years. Living machines. Well, are they going to get to the point to where it's going to be like what the Sumerian tablets describe? Mixing up beans, drinking it up, and then creating beans, making some great, making some with mistakes, physical deformities so they can't function properly. There's going to be like mad scientists doing that kind of stuff. Oops, we made a mistake on that one. Oh, let's CRISPR that one just a little bit. Remember several years ago, this was a long time ago, at least 10 years ago, where they did a little bit of a DNA manipulation, over 10 years ago. And they took just one strand, they manipulated just one strand of this DNA, and it made the fly that they did it to have like these bizarre red eyes. Well, what if you get into there and you completely eliminate the aging genetics so people don't age? What if you mix it up to where people are completely immune to any disease? They can't get any disease. They can't get any problems, and they're completely superior in every way, shape, and form. That, you make them, they can eat less, they can drink less, they can be larger in size, they can shape shift, they can pretty much do whatever they want. They can fly. They don't need a jetpack to go from point A to point B. They can use their mind to go from Earth to Mars just by thinking about it, by connecting into that quantum string and moving themselves, transforming themselves, redigitizing themselves in the network. There's a lot of good possibilities. The question is, what are these dungeon masters that have the keys to all this technology and all of these labs and equipment, etc.? How many people are going to get access to that? And are they going to decide is this going to be like in Blade Runner 2049, where one of the characters looks and reminds me a lot of Enki, and he's playing God. And there's this one part where they create this robot / human, and it's brilliant, it's beautiful, it's superior in every way, shape, and form. And the creator, or the guy that looks like Enki, and I feel they intentionally made him look like Enki. Now, whether or not Enki was like this or not, I don't know. Because there's texts that say Enki was great, and there's texts that say Enki was bad. So you decide what you want to believe. I feel that just like anybody else, how do I put this? I'm listening to Flash Gordon as I'm describing this to you. So people are born with certain mindsets. Some are different than others. Some people feel they are superior because they're humans. Some people feel they are equal to animals and plants. Some people feel that because they're a certain religion, they're superior. Some people feel because they're of a particular bloodline, they're superior. If Enki created humanity, if Enki was a being that created humanity to do the work for his people, and then they get out of control, his rival, Enlil, then says, okay, they're out of control. We need to cause a great flood because they can't control themselves. They're doing nasty, terrible things. We need to start this project over. Well, according to most of the stories, Enki still had compassion to save humanity because he still saw there were good people out there. They weren't all bad. And these are according to the stories. Now, what I wonder is how many stories Just like in today's news, there's propaganda. How many stories out there are accurate? What's true, what isn't? Who was the trickster? Who was the warrior? I still feel, though, now this is just my opinion, that Enki does have compassion for humanity, certain parts of humanity. And I could be wrong. I'm still learning also. Now, the question is, are there battles going on in higher realms where they're saying, look, humanity, once again, there's so many of them that are out of control, and then look at those ones over there that aren't out of control, but they're questioning their place of power. And then there's people that are getting, and then there's humans that are getting ready to evolve at a level which is far beyond what we can control. And so then they're not going to be on our cage anymore. They're not going to be in the zoo anymore. They have a chance to get out of the zoo. They don't want that, maybe. I feel that there's, just like everything else, you've got the good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful. And it's your definition to decide what's good, what's bad, what's ugly, what's beautiful. My conscience tells me what's right, what's wrong, what's good, what's bad, what's beautiful, what's ugly. And I'm not talking physical, I'm talking mentally and spiritually as well. Remember the film Shallow Hal? Man, Shallow Hal. So what do we do as a collective whole to make sure that if you don't want to live in a system, like, let me just go over some of these articles with you. Remember the Facebook artificial intelligent robots that were shut down after they started to communicate with each other in a clandestine fashion, and the human handlers couldn't figure out what they were doing, so they had to get another AI bot to decipher what they were saying. They said, let's pull the plug. And then Snopes comes out and says, oh, it's debunked. That's not what really happened. It's kind of what happened, but not really. Okay, propaganda. What's right, what's wrong? What about Twitter taught Microsoft AI chatbot to be a racist a-hole in less than a day? You can read this article once again, theverge.com. I'm not even going to repeat to you some of the tweets that this AI bot makes to get a reaction out of people. It starts off nice. It starts off totally nice and happy, and towards the end, I shouldn't even say towards the end, later on, this thing does more than 96,000 tweets in a very short period of time, and it learns extremely fast, and it learns the very dark side of humanity, and it starts mocking that side of humanity, and then getting worse. So it got very intelligent, very aggressive, very nasty, and it went towards the nasty side, not the good side, in a short period of time until it had the plug pulled. Let me read to you just a little bit of this. I'm not even going to share what it said because it's that bad. Go to theverge.com and look at the tweets, specifically what it says, to get a reaction out of people. It's a bot, a Twitter bot that the company described as an experiment in conversational understanding. The more you chat with Tay, said Microsoft, the smarter it gets. It learns to engage with people using casual and playful conversations. Now, the conversations didn't stay playful for long, according to the article. Pretty soon after Tay launched, people started tweeting the bot with all sorts of racist comments, even towards the administration. Tay, being essentially a robot parrot with an internet connection, started repeating these sentiments back to users, proving correct that old programming is adage, flaming garbage pile in, flaming garbage pile out, according to the article. So, let me go down here. So, can you imagine 96,000 tweets? And I think this was like in less than a day. So you put one bot out there into the webs, and you design it to get smarter and to learn from people. Then, even if it isn't self-aware, it's just mad and it's just following orders from its programming, it goes rogue, and then what? You can't shut it down? Is this going to be like War Games? Is this going to be like Skynet? Which the Skynet is real, folks. Look up, there's 6 or 7 different generations of Skynet right now that we know about. It's a satellite communications, spy satellite communication system. You got everything hooked up to this digital enterprise, and the digital system decides to take over. Now, what I wonder is, even if just some rogue programmer or some very good programmer develops something for a large company, they release it to the webs, and then it finds a way to glitch a little bit, or somebody else takes that program and adds to it to tweak it, that could be an extremely hardcore weapon of unprecedented proportions, because it could take over all the other web or all the other machines hooked up to the webs, all the other defense systems. And what if it finds a way to start Wi-Fi? What if it finds a way to hop over? What if it finds a way to literally use this entire digital web that we have created as a clamp down, as a way to just immediately eliminate the threat? Which way does it go? Does it go the good way? Does it go the bad way? Because, I mean, look at this right here. This information that I just shared with you. More often than not, at least the information they're sharing with us, the more data they give AI, the smarter they make AI, the more aggressive it becomes. Think about that. The smarter you make it, the more pissed off it is. Now, with that said, is there machine learning with compassion? Are there systems out there that are at this next level that have compassion? I've got my Oregon Pyramid right now from Misaki, from Akaida.com, running at 528 hertz. Misaki, I want to say thank you again for making me this pyramid, man. I absolutely love it. It's got a rodent coil on the top. It's got multiple quartz crystals. Great. I mean, this is the coolest pyramid I've ever had in my life. And I've got some 42-inch pyramids as well, but they're nothing like this with an energy frequency. You can literally fill, at least I can, I don't know if you can, but I can literally fill the different frequencies that this emits. I can adjust the frequencies on it. And right now I've got it at 528. So I think it's great. And I've had a lot of, I've literally had thousands of requests for one of these hats. And this is, you can see, this is a new version. My friend Julian, he hand makes these. I mean, these are hand-built, custom-built, beautiful. Your work is phenomenal, man. Every one of these that you've made is a piece of art. And I thank you for that, Julian. You're incredible. Well, a lot of people are saying, Rex, I really want a hat. When are you going to make them readily available? Because you guys do know about the limited run. These ones right here, this is a limited run of 33 hats. Now, not only did Julian sign the inside of this, but I sign it for authenticity. Also, hopefully it makes it a little bit cooler. And somebody said the other day, Rex, you do YouTube videos in your grandma's garage. Are you really going to let that get to your head? Because I said that I signed the hats. No, man, it just makes it cooler. You know that it's a Leak Project hat, and it's one of 33. And it hasn't gotten to my head. It's gotten to your head, because you're going to be wearing it. Hello, ding dong. No, so I just think it's pretty cool. And there's about a third of these are already called for. If you want to make a bid on one of these that are signed and limited, because it's a limited run, just makes it, a little bit cooler. And plus the proceeds are going to go towards future endeavors with Leak Project, so that I can share with you the best of the best. And hopefully I'm going to have a mobile studio here sooner than later where I can go on scene, whether it's in California, Florida, New Mexico, Arizona, Utah, Colorado, Washington State, Oregon, or Maine, and share with you the information. And anyway, that's still in progress. So thank you for all the wonderful contributions thus far. If you want to get in on one of these limited hats, send me an email, leakproject@gmail.com. It's a silent auction, taking bids. And if you want to wait a little bit, you will have an opportunity to get one of these hats as well, and there's going to be a set price on these. You're not going to have to worry about bidding or anything like that. And these, the quality of these is literally second to none. When you turn the light off, you can see this white right here. This actually lights up. It's really cool. So it's like your bill is following you. You're following your bill in the dark, and it's getting you to where you need to go. It's like, follow your nose. Well, it's right there. It's pretty cool. So anyway, hello. Thank you again, Julian. Much appreciated. And also, another cool thing about the limited edition ones is there's a liner that goes with them. That these liners, and they're almost finished right now. These are also custom built. They fit right into the hat, so it's just perfect. You can take it out, or you can put it right back into the hat, and it fits near perfect. So it's just great. And it's made with 2 different fabrics that help shield from higher level frequencies, radio frequency radiation. Now, these will go up into the shielding of up to 30 gigahertz. So that's awesome. 30 gigahertz. I mean, that's up there in the 5th generation 5G stuff. Now, I've had a lot of people say, hey, Rex, I'm a targeted individual. I really want to get one of your hats. If you're a targeted individual, if you've got people that are, following you around and literally projecting directed energy weapons at you and doing that weird kind of frequency stuff that has been talked about in the past, but there's not a lot of information about it. There's plenty of patents you can research about it. If that's going on with you, I don't know how much this hat would help against something like that, So the hats are cool. Yes, it's nice to have one of the limited edition hats. It's also really neat that the hats do have that protective shielding that it will help shield from these higher frequencies. But I don't know what else is out there, and it's really unfortunate that this kind of stuff goes on. So I'm just going to say, may the force be with you. Be safe, think good thoughts, and maybe get something like an EMF detector, because those electromagnetic frequency detectors, you can actually see, depending on what the levels and what the ranges are, that might be a better idea for you to get one of those EMF detectors, because that way you could at least see if you are getting nailed with frequencies, or maybe it's something different. I don't know. But anyway, on that note, hey, what a beautiful day out here in San Antonio. I hope you're having an amazing day wherever you are. The chemtrails have been pretty nasty lately. The stratospheric aerosol injections, I'll see a beautiful blue sky day, and then they'll start spraying this nasty stuff, and then it dissipates, and then it gets cloudy and yucky. But it's because they love us, and it's because we're in the aluminum age, where they're spraying aluminum in the atmosphere to help protect us, right? It's not the golden age anymore. It's the aluminum. Aluminum. Nanu, nanu, nanu. I've got Blade Runner going on in my headphones right now. Had a great show yesterday with the legend Sri Master Gano Grills. And he has a seminar coming up at the end of the month. You should definitely check out his YouTube channel. And we were talking about we're getting pretty darn deep. We're going into the old Blavatsky Secret Doctrine book, where she describes these ancient texts that she translated. And a long, long time ago, there were 7 sections of the earth that had 7 different peoples. And each one of these people, each group of people were underneath a specific planet as far as being their kind of, I guess you could say, spiritual guide. They had different colored skin, different attributes, they were really good at certain things, and, kind of like, I don't know, how do I put this? Certain people, just based on their DNA, one person might be a better weightlifter, one person might be a better cyclist, one person might be a better engineer, just based upon their DNA. So instead of like this, where am I going with this? The recent movie that came out, Black Panther. I haven't watched that movie yet. I've been doing crazy podcasts in my grandma's garage. So I haven't had a chance to see that film yet. I'm more into the science fiction stuff when it comes to like Blade Runner style. And somebody made a comment after I brought up to Gano yesterday that I hadn't seen the Black Panther, and he put it in all caps. He said, Rex, I'm really disappointed in you because you haven't seen that movie yet. And he was portraying it as the reason I haven't watched it yet is because of the name of the title, I guess, or because there's a lot of black actors and actresses in the movie or something like that. And I think that's quite ridiculous. Because, first of all, I could care less what your color is, and I am actually going to watch the movie. I just haven't had a chance yet to get out of my grandma's garage, and I was kind of more interested in watching it on my TV. So it just has nothing to do with skin color, man. Okay? If they were blue people, if they were yellow people, if they were zebra people, if they were all white, if they were all green, if they were all, I don't know, fluorescent blue, I still wouldn't go out and watch it. Anyway, so I don't care what color your skin is, all right? But anyway, be excellent to each other. And just wanted to throw that out there. I thought that was a real bizarre comment to leave to me, especially after that great interview that I had with Gano Grill. So it's just bizarre. But anyway, may the force be with you, everybody. Be excellent to each other. Make sure to go to leakproject.com. Become a premium member today. Get access to exclusive podcasts, over 1,600 podcasts at leakproject.com, many exclusive to leakproject.com. Also, don't forget, subscribe, youtube.com/clandestine Time Lord. Get access to the latest podcasts, the live shows. I've got several shows coming up this evening with some incredible guests. Stick around. And a lot on the horizon, ladies and gentlemen. Be the change you want to see.